Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking top. Praless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas.
Hey, and I am joined by my man's Benji lol, but I've had to move away from calling you your old name, and I even asked you, I was like, dude, is it okay if I actually put Lod as your old name? Yeah, but welcome. Yeah, good. I didn't, dude, today I actually found out what Lod meant. Yeah, I had no idea. Literally no idea. Was it light of day? Was it? Dude, I think LOD's cool though, but like, whatever. Yeah. Um. So I'll just start off by saying, like, I know that it's just still warming up a little bit. But if anyone has question for LOD, or myself, then ask and I'll get him to answer it at the end. But yeah, like I guess we'll just we'll run with it now. Um. So yeah, I've already welcomed you. For those of you that don't know Benji or slash Lod, he's been a part of it all in North America. He's played LCS, you've played Academy, you've done content, you've done streaming. Like, have you coached? Oh, really? Uh,
so far.
dude, I think I've um. Hello, can you talk?
Hello?
Ah, there we go. Thanks for pointing. You. Oh man, you had no audio for a second. Sorry.
Oh,
I
really?
actually yeah, my bad. My bad.
No, it's chill. It's chill.
Um thanks for that lethality. Um yeah, sorry, keep going. Yeah, you hadn't coached, but
Yeah, I never coached, but I was interested in coaching. Like, I sent out like applications to teams and stuff, and I was definitely interested. But I don't know if it's my calling quite yet. I might do it once I'm a little bit more washed up. But I feel like I still have sort of like, I guess, the talent to either climb solo queue or to keep playing pro. But
dude, I feel like
we'll see.
coaching, no disrespect, because I actually love coaching. Like if I ever get
Mm-hmm.
when I used to get the chance to coach, and sometimes I still get the
Yep.
chance to like mentor the players in my team. I love
Yep.
it, but that's when you know when you're coaching, dude, like you're very close to finished. Like
For sure.
you're very close to never coming back.
Yep. 100%. Yeah.
um, and I'm sure like there's still some players that can coach and play, so don't hate on me for that. But for the most part, yeah. Um, so I guess the easiest question to ask and the most, I guess for me, the one that I'm interested in the most is like, how did you get into League? Because you said you went from like nearly
Yeah.
Gladiator in WoW to League.
Yeah. Well, I sort of just like my parents always gave me access to like a decent computer, I guess.
Mm,
And yeah, I was just like a fiend for WoW, honestly. I played like a Holy Paladin in WoW, and yeah, I almost got Gladiator back in Lich King when I was like 11 or 12.
yep.
And yeah, one day my parents, well, I was trying to transfer to like the best battle group or whatever so I could compete with like the better players and stuff.
Mhm.
And I had set up like a 3v3 team over there that we were trying to get Gladiator with. And then I went to my parents. I was like, please, please, pay for a server transfer as well. And they're like, hell no,
Aren't
like
they like 60
it's
bucks or
summertime.
80 bucks or something?
Yeah, it was expensive back then. It was
Yeah,
like 60 bucks or something. And my
yeah.
parents were like, hell no, like it's summertime. You're gonna get your ass out of the house and you're gonna quit WoW. And so they canceled my shit. But I was on like Arena Junkies or something like website, and there's like a League of Legends ad, like one of those little ads on the sidebar.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this game looks cool. And clicked it. I went to the champion roster. The champions all looked super cool. And I was like, all right, this looks fun. I downloaded it. And I started playing. And I was like on this forum all the time for other games called like GameFAQs.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a version of Reddit. And I started posting there. And I just started like playing fives with people from there.
Mhm.
And so I started like learning. I don't know if you know who like Stonewall is. So it was like a huge. He's kind of like a jungler YouTuber guy.
No joke,
But
bro. No joke. He's the guy that I watched as my first like I
oh
need
really?
to improve. I need to improve. So I that was the first YouTube video I watched. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, damn. Yeah. I linked up with him, and yeah, we just played a lot of fives together. And he had like connections with like pretty good players at the time for season one, and like uh, you know, maybe not pros or whatever, but like definitely people that helped me learn the game.
Mm.
And so when I started playing solo queue, I had like a decent amount of like connections for people to do it with and stuff. Like they were pretty good players. And yeah, I just kind of like started taking it really seriously towards the latter half of season 1 because I was close to Gladiator and WoW, and I sort of like hit it with the same mindset, and I was able to get like 1900 or 2K, which is like top 200.
Yeah.
When I was like 13 or 14, and then I was just pretty much like top 100 for every season after that. And I saw people like going to tournaments like IEM and shit way back in the day, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty tight. Like it looks fun to like travel the world and like play for that big ass check. And I just kind of decided I wanted to try to pursue it, and it just ended up working out. So
Yeah, dude. That's actually awesome. Because, I mean, I feel like most people, dude, I feel like most people that actually like turned out to be decent at the game. Obviously, like I think there's like obviously they have talent. They're probably just good at games in general, like yourself. But
yeah,
how important? Like it's actually so important to have someone better than you when you start playing. I feel like if
I
you,
think so too.
yeah, I think if you're playing and on even playing field and then you have like somewhat of an upwards trajectory compared to your friends, I feel like
Yeah,
it's harder for you to take the next level as opposed to like just learning off people straight away. Because I was the worst player out of my whole group of friends.
yeah. I actually think that makes a really big difference.
Yeah.
And okay, when I was back in LA, I was talking to like a few of my friends, and we suddenly realized actually that all of us, pretty much all of the pros, or almost all the pros that we know that we're friends with, have brothers that are like 3 to 4 years older,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And it was like we asked a bunch of people because it was just us three at first, and we were like, oh, like how old is your brother? Like how old is your brother? Okay, 4 years older. And we're like, all right, that's a weird coincidence. But then we started like messaging people, and like a lot of pros have like older siblings that are like roughly 4 years older, and it's like I'm pretty sure that's, it's just like you get your ass beat in
Yeah.
video games growing up and shit. And it's like, it makes you like, it sort of like slingshots you. It's like
Yeah.
you're always going to get your ass beat by your older sibling, but then you go online and you're more on like an even playing field. And you got that like, that inner like desire to smurf on kids type shit.
Yeah. You.
And it's like, I really think that is what makes a huge difference for people trying to get better at the game.
Well,
So,
you don't have to make the same mistakes that they made. That's I think that's the most
exactly. Yeah.
important thing. Is like
Yeah.
to everything. Like if you have someone like a mentor or someone that's done it before you, you don't have to make the same mistakes. Like you skip that. You skip all of it. And so that's like
Yeah.
that's pretty much like 3 years, dude. 3 years in like however long you can take to grasp it. Yeah.
For sure. Yep.
Um, you're like a OG, alright? Like you're OG when it comes to LoL in NA. Like 2012, I think is when your Leaguepedia starts in terms of like teams that you've been on. Um,
Yeah, I think so.
It was, I don't remember the first name of your team. I should have written it down. But
Um,
do you want to talk to us about your journey? I guess your journey as a league player. Like you don't have to go into too much detail because we're probably going into like
for sure.
into your LCS career later. But I mean, just like yeah, just kind of like was it open? What's it called in North America? Open circuit, open ladder, open
It's like
qualifiers,
sort of, I guess it was called like Challenger.
challenger. But before, what's the one below that? Was below that to
Um,
qualify for challenger?
well, to qualify for Challenger is straight up just a Challenger qualifier back
Oh,
then. Like
okay.
you just play the ranked ladder, and if your team was high enough, like top 20 or whatever, you'd get seeded into this open qualifier, and then you'd get into Challenger
Is
type
that what
thing.
you were trying to do or did?
Yeah, that's what I did. And before that, it was like just the most basic shit ever. It was like go for lulls type thing,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
there's like yeah, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. There's also like the TSM hosted like weekly tournaments too.
Right.
They hosted their own like go for lulls and stuff. I used to just play in those.
That's
Yeah, I mean my career.
pretty much how I did it too. Like just go for lols.
Yeah, I mean honestly, go for lulls was just the play back then. Like
Yeah.
legit,
It's like,
that was just the way to go.
mom, you don't understand. I can earn $50. I can earn fifty
Yeah.
dollars this weekend. And she's like, are you
I'm gonna
pocketing
be
all
rich.
50? And it's like, no, 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 between five. And then I was like, but trust me, it's a lucrative business. $50 a weekend, I can do it.
Yeah, legit. Back then, that was a fortune.
Back then, dude, you're selling a pipe dream
To
to
get
your
that go for
parents.
all prize pool, you're eating good that night.
Yeah, dude.
Serious.
Yeah, dude. You're like, boys, Domino's is on me. $8,
For real.
$5
Yeah,
special.
just
Um,
straight up, man.
and the ones that were the most hyped though were the ones that gave you skins, like Triumphant Rise.
Oh, buddy, yeah. Triumphant Rise was just it was a fucking badge back then.
Dude, if
It was a medal of honor. It's
yeah,
like, all right, you've won a go for all.
and
You're
then
insane.
it was actually just like a like what kind of now like you know how people are like dude season 8 season 7 diamond omega lol, but like back then
Yeah.
it was like if someone shit talked you like the game before, you'd load into the next game and you'd pick rise in any position just to show that you had triumphant rise, dude, and you're like don't talk,
Yeah.
don't even look at me, we're not on the same level at the
Yeah.
moment. Dude,
Dude,
that's
I'm sad nowadays. It means nothing, man. It
yeah,
makes me
bro.
sad.
No, because they
Yeah.
started like go for lows for like only gold or only silver,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
Exactly.
well, you won, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, just on that, I'm gonna do a few promos real quick. If you haven't followed our Instagram page, follow our Instagram page. We do. Oh no, story no longer available. I think we just missed the. Oh,
White one.
Sean, my boss has still made it. We do takeaway Tuesdays, so if you follow, every Tuesday
Back
we
for another
post a video
split.
like this.
Here we are.
I'll let you
Not
guys
the best start for the split. Going 0-2, but that's okay. Back it up next week. I hope you liked the new jerseys, the Gravitas Glory White one, and then the stripes is what we're calling against Mammoth. I hope you really enjoyed them. Stay tuned for more. If you haven't signed up at Gravitas GG, if Juves is doing his job right, he's putting gravitas.gg
Hey,
right here.
But
Go
make
there
sure
and sign up.
make sure you guys actually do what the video said and you sign up to gravitas.gg. Then we have a first brick competition. You pick what turret you think will go down first, and you go in the running to win a t-shirt. So if it's top lane, mid lane, bot lane, ours or enemies. And then we also have I'll put links in. We have a Friday first competition. I'm not logged into Twitch. Yeah, a Friday first competition where you vote who you think is going to take first blood from either our team or their team. Um, and now I'm gonna throw back to us. Yeah, good, you're still there. You didn't run away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I'm still here. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess now I want to ask you a little bit about your LCS career and like kind of your first gig and what that was like and yeah, just yeah, talk to me because I remember, dude, no joke, there was a split where Dig Dig Lod really hyped me up, really hyped me up,
Really?
dude. No joke, you don't
Maybe
know that. I never
before
told.
the split.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that, bro. I was like, I think it was like I can't remember who was on your team, dude, but it might have been when you had the Koreans, the two
Yeah.
Koreans.
Someday and Chaser.
Yeah, man. I was like, cause
Team two.
you were some like back then. I think you were a bit of an unknown quantity in terms of like it was always like double lift and who was TSM's AD at the time? Oh, it was Wild Turtle and who else? Uh,
Sneaky.
s-
Sneaky's pretty good too.
yeah. And then like Lod just came out and Dig started putting out some decent performances, but then yeah. Sorry, I rambled. Talk to me about your yeah.
Well, my LCS career started like a year before Dig. I was playing on like a challenger team, and a lot of people were having visa issues that split, so I ended up subbing for like 3 or 4 different teams. Like I guess Energy, Renegades, Echo Fox. Actually, yeah, about 3 teams. And so that was where I started playing LCS, and I think I got like a pretty good reputation because I came in and I'd been playing for so long, like I didn't care about playing on stage, like
Mm,
I'd played on stage hundreds of times type thing, or like rather I'd played in important tournaments or whatever hundreds of times. I was like, whatever, this is finally my chance to like prove myself in LCS where it matters.
yeah.
So I just came in and I was like playing with like impact and stuff. I was shot calling for my team. I'm just like, do this, I'll carry you if you do this type thing.
Mm.
And I just came in with that mentality. And then the next split, I got picked up by Envy, which was Renegades that got bought. And I just came at it with the same mentality. I was lucky enough back then to have a super good support, Hako. Uh,
He's still playing now.
he, he's still playing. I think
Yeah.
he's
Clutch?
still,
Clutch?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
playing for Echo Fox, I think
Yeah,
actually.
right. They moved.
Yeah,
He
he moved
moved.
over to
Yeah,
Echo Fox.
yeah.
But yeah, he's super talented and he helped me a lot. And yeah, that split on Envy, I straight up felt like I was one of the best ADs in NA. Like that's a little bit conceited, I guess, but the stats, I was top 3 in every stat for ADs.
Mhm.
And I felt like, we got playoffs. We only got top 6. We fell out quick, and we like got like 3 out in Gauntlet or whatever. But I felt like super confident after that split. And then what had happened is like after that, I was really feeling myself. I figured in my head I was like, I had waited so long to get an LCS, and then I put stats on the board. So it was like, in my head I'm like, I'm gonna be a staple in LCS. I'm gonna be here for a long time.
Yeah.
And then like towards the end of the off season, I had heard that like Seraph and our mid laner wanted to like replace me and get a new AD, and also the coach, because they're like a trio, like
Yeah.
they're like really good friends.
Yeah.
And that sort of like hurt my ego. I was like, what the hell? And so I like started looking for new teams, and I ended up joining Dignitas because they had like a pretty appealing roster. But for whatever reason, I don't know, like Dig, you say got hyped up
Someday-
Tig Lod, but yeah, I mean it was a sick roster, right?
Dude,
like
you went-
like Someday Keen.
You guys went
I- we-
9-9,
we-
dude. It's not that bad.
We did go 9-9,
Yeah.
but we started the split like 1-5 or like 1-6 or something. I see it. It was sort of a rough split looking back. I went from top 3 in stats to like literally 9th or 10th in stats.
Mm.
And I don't think stats are like completely telling of everything, but I definitely was not playing as well. And it was pretty unfortunate. Like halfway through Envy though, my wrist and like my arms started like breaking down really hard. Like
Yeah.
I started like legit waking up in the morning and I couldn't move my hand for like an hour. I would have to like stretch it for an hour. The bones and the tendons were like stuck. And I
RSI.
still played. I played decently, but like literally I would be solo queuing, I'd be solo queuing after scrims, I'd be practicing super hard, and it's like my hand would just stop working. Like my arm would just hurt so much that I couldn't play anymore. It was like super frustrating because I had played for like 5 years to get into LCS. I was like, I'm here. And it was just an incredibly frustrating time. I managed to make it work, and I took like a long break. I took like a month off in the off season, and I did a lot. I went to a doctor and stuff like that. I made sure my stretches were good. I went to a PT. But when we went to Korea on Dignitas, I was playing like 30 games a day of solo queue plus scrims. My wrist started getting really bad right as the split started again, and I just felt like super off.
Mm.
Like we did end up going 9-9 and we made playoffs, but I had a pretty bad performance in playoffs. And going into the off season, I ended up taking another month break where I just tried to like immobilize my wrist.
Yeah.
But then like I guess when the split was about to start again, because I had taken a month off, I was playing not amazingly, and so I guess my team like didn't really trust me too much. And then literally 2 days before the split started, I got hospitalized with like a fever of like 104 degrees, and yeah, I had to like go into the hospital, and I was literally just like bedridden, like I
Wow.
couldn't move. I was just like shaking out of fever, and I was like extremely sick. And this was like right before LCS started, so it really fucking sucked. And so I went on stage that weekend just feeling absolutely dead. I didn't talk much. We ended up 2-0ing, and we beat. I think it was that week that we beat TSM, and they went on to go like 16-2. And in general, the first few weeks of the summer split, we were like 5-1. We
Yeah.
had a really winning record. We only lost to TL, and I thought things were going pretty well. But then my team had told me, they're like, oh, after week 1, we actually we signed a new bot lane,
Was it
and you're
Altec
gonna.
and Big?
It was
Or
like
Adrian? Adrian.
I'll take an Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we actually signed a new ball lane, and we're gonna like start using them. And I guess like at the time, I don't know, my ego was decently big. I was actually super pissed off about that. Looking back, if I were to go back, I'd be like, whatever, that's understandable. Like,
Mm.
let's split time. It's okay, it's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal. I just have to do my thing, and help these people do well too, because it's like it's important the team does well.
Yeah.
But instead, I wasn't like toxic about it, but I had a super bitter attitude. Like
Yeah, but
I
bro,
remember
everyone gets good. How
Yeah.
players get good is because they have egos.
for sure.
You can't.
Yeah, that was my mentality. Yeah.
If you don't have an ego that's like at least confident, then like I don't think you're probably not that good. Like self-belief and like and
For sure.
yeah. I mean you just gotta balance it, right? But you were a kid. How old were you?
I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah. And I mean like how,
Maybe I just turned 20. I'm not sure.
yeah. I mean but that's still young, right? Like I think people forget, dude. Like how do you get good at a game?
For sure. Yeah. No, it's just being egotistical being a little bit, you're definitely a little bit crazy if you're
Yeah.
good at a game too.
Oh
Like
man, you gotta put in like
that's
13 hours a day, yeah?
oh,
Like,
for sure. Yeah,
like,
yeah. So like, yeah, and okay, in my head, yeah, it was justified. I'm like, dude, we just went 5-1, and I literally was like, of course, like my first 2 games weren't amazing, you
Mm.
know? Like I was like, dude, I was literally in the hospital sick, and you fucking like really? I felt like betrayed. Obviously, in their head, they're just doing their whatever they can to have their best chances.
yeah.
But like, I may not have like pulled the best stats, but I just like I felt like I played for my team super well, and it led to us going 5-1 and beating TSM, who was super good. And in like when you go 5-1 and you're first place after the first 4 weeks, you have a playoff spot basically locked, right? So I was about to make my third consecutive playoffs, and my first playoffs with Envy got fucked because people people on my teammates on Envy were literally like they literally like name changed to like we want to go home on TR. Like they
What?
didn't even want to play playoffs. Yeah,
Was
literally
that
like
Seraph and Proxen or Ninja?
Proximus chill. Seraph and Ninja literally like name changed to like I want to go home on
What?
TR, and like that was before, and we had playoffs and Gauntlet, and I was like, bro, we could literally make worlds if we play well enough, man. Like I know it's far fetched, but like, dude, we got to give it our all, and they just like no one
It's so
cared.
crazy,
Like
dude. Because like, I mean,
it really
Australia,
sucked.
Australia has a very big fan base for. I mean, a lot of Australians watch like LCS, and I'm sure
Yeah,
they were watching at that time. And it's like no one knows the backstory. You know what I mean? Everyone's just
yeah, yeah,
like they just see the performance, they see the result,
yeah,
and that's it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Damn.
So that was my first playoffs, and then my next playoffs with Dig, we went 0-3 versus P1, and that was tragic. So in my head, I'm like, dude, getting just playoffs isn't like enough to cement my legacy. Like, we have to do well in playoffs, and I was confident that I was going to do well in playoffs. I started playing so much better. I was literally playing like 10 solo queue games a day,
Mm.
trying to make sure I was like back in form. And so to get like replaced like that really pissed me off. I remember there's like a FlyQuest game where we lost the first game of the series, and I was like playing a champion that I didn't want to play necessarily.
Yeah.
And of course, I go to the back room and they're like, "All right, good try. We're gonna like sub in the other bot lane." And I was like, "Dude, like the concept of that was like it was a lot younger in the scene too. There was a lot less subs, no academy teams, etc." And I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like I literally like just peace out. Like I was like, "Am I gonna get played for the rest of the series? Like even if you win?" And they're like, "Nah." So I was like, "All right, fuck this. I'm going home."
Mm.
I literally just like went home in an Uber, which is for sure not the right play to make.
Yeah.
And after that, like the team owner messaged me and was like, "Did you go home after that game?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, you're never playing again for this team."
Was that NV?
Dig. That
Dig.
was Dig
Yeah.
in the summer split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. Yeah, and then of course the team like went on to make playoffs, and yeah, the new bot lane was actually pretty good. I think Alltech and Adrian are pretty good, but like obviously, yeah, it was really difficult to go through, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's all a learning
Looking back, I
experience.
would have handled it better, but yeah, at the time it was
I think most people in
yeah,
their careers will go back and look at things and be like, "Damn, I could have handled that better." And if you didn't,
for sure.
if you don't say that, I think you're lying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, well, then after the kind of that dig run, you went into 1 year a 1 year break, right? Pretty much, or was it a couple
Yeah.
months? Or was it 1 year?
It ended up being about almost a year in total
Yeah.
because from the point that I got subbed out to the point where I played on Golden Guardians Academy,
Mm.
it was about a year. Yeah.
And what was it like playing academy?
Kind of a little bit soul sucking, I guess.
Really? I thought it.
Well,
Well,
to a
because it's like less
degree,
intense sometimes, right? And you could have, you possibly could be having more fun, I guess, maybe. Don't know.
I guess. Yeah, it just yeah, it was a for fun environment, but I don't like that, man. Like
Yeah.
I've been playing for such a long time. Like for me, competing and winning is like it's in my blood. That's what I want to do, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like I want there to be purpose in what I'm doing too, but there's no purpose in academy. Like literally, the staff would come up to us and be like, "It's okay, bro. Like we don't care if you win. Like you could win or you could lose. Like it doesn't make a difference."
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if you've seen like Rick and Morty. It's like the bot that like passes butter. It's just like, is that
I
really
haven't
my
seen it.
purpose? It's
Yeah.
just fine. It's like, is this really all my purpose is? Just to I just exist here.
Hey, you're
Like
just ticking boxes. You're just ticking boxes, dude.
exactly,
yeah.
and that is the opposite of what competing is to
Yeah.
me. Is like that's not what competing is. But it's supposed to be like, man, everything is on the line. Like people care, my teammates care, the other team cares, everyone. Like this, there's a lot of pressure on this moment. But instead, you just go in and it's like, all right, well, we win today, we lose today, nothing really matters in the end because we're not playing for anything. It's like I like, and I think Riot has acknowledged too, like, they at least I think this split they have teams playing like one game on stage or two games on split stage per split just to give
Yeah.
them experience or something. But like it really just felt like they franchised and then the challenger scene was sort of like an afterthought.
Yeah.
But to me, the challenger scene is what compelled the LCS teams to get better
Well, like Cloud9
because
had like how many rookies when they went to Worlds?
yeah, exactly.
And they
Well, yeah.
well, not rookies in like they've never played the game, but like they were definitely on their academy team. Like when they
Yeah,
made that
well,
run.
that's fair. Honestly, C9, but C9 has always been super. It's good for the teams like TL and C9 who've always had academy teams basically
Mm.
because I think they understand the infrastructure and they utilize it really well.
Yeah.
But those are also two like pretty wealthy teams that can afford really good players and have always typically been around like top 4, top 5 in NA.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like to me, relegations, as shitty as it was for the orgs that were in LCS and for investors, it really pushed people to like compete more. It wasn't like, oh, I can just give this player a try for fun. It's like I am paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to own a team and house the team and give the team salary. So I need my team to be the best possible players on paper that I can get, you know?
Yeah.
And Academy is full of its Academy has like a lot of great players too, but it also has a lot of like, all right, we just needed a placeholder here, you know, like
It's like there's also those players that are like, oh, I just need somewhere to live.
exactly. It's like there's literally players that like go in and they're just happy to be able to like tell their friends like, hey, I'm on like X team, and it's like I get that, but that's not like the mentality. It's not like the type of people I want to play with. Like it's just because like I'm like an OG who never won anything important, I guess. So maybe that's just like the mentality that I have, you know.
No,
Yeah, like yeah, I got to play LCS, but I never won a title, and I've been playing for like 9 years. And it's like I don't want to play with someone who like their sole purpose of playing isn't to win and to like prove that they're the best. It's to message their friends back home and be like, oh, this is so cool, I get to do this.
dude,
Like
even now that I'm retired, when I play solo queue, I'm still like the exact same as when I was playing like professionally. I'm like, I
yeah,
want to win, and if you're wasting time, like I'm getting angry. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for sure.
it's. But then I knew for me, like as an example, it was time for me to retire when I stopped getting nervous before games, and I got a little bit less upset each time we lost. I was just like,
Yeah, man.
that's time for me to,
Well,
yeah,
dude, yeah, that happened to me like I was super upset if we lost. I was like super hyped all the time. Like,
yeah,
literally like when I got subbed out, like I sat in my room and like straight up like teared up. I was so like emotional about it, you know? And playing in academy though is like I couldn't well up much when we lost. Like I was a bit angry or frustrated at first when we were losing in academy or whatever, but slowly it's just like this doesn't even mean anything. I don't really have much of a reason to I care, but I don't like no, there's no reason given to even care. So
well,
yeah,
your
it was
goal
like
your goal is really just LCS, like when you're playing
for
academy.
sure, yeah. Yeah.
Um, we'll end it on a positive one. Because I feel like we've been flaming flaming some people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
What's your most fun and most memorable moment in League?
Oh, that's a good one actually.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, it's like a bit of a meme because I celebrated way too hard and I looked like such a troll. But we were playing I switched to mid for like 6 months or something and we were playing a tournament versus like the heavy favorites and I like backdoored their base as Zed and I like did everything absolutely perfect to make it work. And I
Yeah.
like literally jumped out of my chair in excitement. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" That was for sure. I think that was the best moment ever for
Was
me.
this a high elo tournament or was it kind of climbing?
It was the challenger playoffs for the year. It was like to decide which teams get to try to relegate the LCS teams.
Oh damn. What team was that on? Coast. That was on Coast.
It was actually
Oh, LoL Pro.
it was on LoL Pro
Yeah.
versus Coast. Yeah, it was actually versus Mash.
Oh, was it? I played with Mash. Yeah, I played with Mash.
Yeah, it was actually versus Mash.
Mash sucks.
Yeah, he's a
um,
fucking noob.
yeah. Before I let you head off, I'm say follow Benji on Twitter, Benji lol. YouTube, Benji Stacks,
You got it.
and Twitch TV Benji. Real easy. Thank you so much for doing it in the real bad time zone. I really appreciate it. This will be put out in like kind of podcast format. It goes across Facebook and Twitter and all that, so feel free to like use it however you want.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, dude, I really appreciate it. And I hope you can kind of kick off your streaming and content career and do the dream and just live the dream.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
It was tight being on for sure.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
thanks, bro. See you later.
See ya.